Thank you very much, Mr. Baxter. And also thank you to Minister Mantashe for having joined us this afternoon with his office bearers and senior executives from the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. I want to reiterate the fact that the office bearers who were in office last year, Mr. Dan, Mr. Steenkamp, and Mr. Nkwanazi, have been unanimously re-elected for another year. So I'm grateful for that because it means there is continuity, and it also means that we can be able to build on the momentum that has been started a year or 2 years ago. So congratulations, colleagues, and thank you very much again. Minister, I want to also advise the fact that we've got a new office bearer who has joined us as of today. That is Dr. Nombasa Tsengwa, who is the CEO of Exaro. And she's joining as the office bearer. So out of the 5 office bearers, we now have 2 who are women. And if my numbers are correct, it means we have 40% women office bearers of the Minerals Council. That's we are working towards a higher number, so watch the space. But I want to welcome Dr. Tsengwa as well for her joining us in the office bearers platform of the Minerals Council. CEO of the Minerals Council, Mr. Roger Baxter, and office bearers, board members who are here, and members, fellow CEOs and other executives of the mining industry. Good morning and welcome to our 133 AGM of the Minerals Council of South Africa. Thank you for joining us as we reflect on the past year and what lies ahead today. Roger will speak about the operational challenges and successes we've had in navigating an increasingly difficult environment for not only the mining sector, but also our economy and our society. I will focus on why mining matters to our stakeholders, our employees, host communities, and the broader economy. Mining is a critical industry in our country with a history stretching back well over a century. We pride ourselves at the Minerals Council that we continue to learn from our past mistakes, and we move forward in a constructive, solutions-driven way to continue making mining matter, and we continue to strive to be a trusted, reliable partner for our stakeholders. And therefore, the presence of the DMRE leadership here with us today also helps us as a mirror to make sure that we continue to strive to do the right things for this industry that we all love. Fundamental to this partnership is our quest for the transformation of an industry that was for generations forged along deeply divisive and damaging racial and gender lines. We have made tremendous progress in the nearly 3 decades of freedom and democracy since 1994. Our imperative to transform is guided by a bold vision in South Africa's constitution. I quote, to heal past divisions and establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights, unquote. Transforming our society and economy is at the heart of making this ideal a reality. And the Minerals Council and its members are unequivocally committed to playing our part in achieving this vision. As someone once said, the past we inherit, however, the future we create. As the Minerals Council, we reiterate that, Minister, the mining industry remains as committed as ever to transformation and continuing the sustainable and impactful initiatives that should result in true economic value creation beyond mere compliance. We are committed to positive social impact, especially in host communities. This is demonstrated through our ongoing Transformation Beyond Compliance project, which we initiated in 2021. The project was developed in response to the perceived void as regards an enforceable transformation instrument for the mining sector. Following the High Court declaratory order and judicial review, we started developing this project in collaboration with our member companies. And Minister Mantashe, you invited us to recommend a framework for socio-economic transformation in the mining industry. In this respect, we are preparing a proposed instrument that can deliver meaningfully differentiated outcomes for all stakeholders while ensuring policy certainty for the industry concerning transformation and targeted socio-economic development commitments. Accordingly, we are hopeful that the Transformation Beyond Compliance project will serve as a proposed bridge by the mining sector between the current context of transformation in the mining sector and a future characterized by increasingly shared values and collective buy-in by all stakeholders and beneficiaries comprising our employees, communities, and customers. Our board has endorsed and approved this concept. We are ready to engage, therefore, Minister, with the DMRE to review, refine, and work towards the adoption of the co-created Transformation Beyond Compliance proposal. That will result in a common framework that can be easily measured and monitored. And this, we hope that it will be aligned to global ESG standards and also be strongly correlated to the Sustainable Development Goals as we know them. Our engagements will also involve all stakeholders, including the beneficiaries, organized labor, community-based organizations, and non-governmental organizations. And we hope that through your guidance and the leadership, we will be able to come to that common framework. Furthermore, as an industry, we continue to play our part in changing South Africa's socio-economic landscape in numerous ways. And in 2022 alone, our performance as an industry enabled us to contribute 484 billion rands to the economy, which was up from 475 billion rands, keeping the sector as a 7.3% contributor to the GDP. Exports increased to 877 billion compared to 834 billion rands a year earlier. For the second consecutive year, the value of production was above 1 trillion rands, increasing to a record of 1.18 trillion from the year before. The value we added and share as an industry comes in many forms and not just financial. Through our total economic contribution, we have enabled local companies to grow and thrive by being very deliberate about pouring and procuring from local suppliers in our host communities, especially those owned by Black South Africans and those owned by women and young people. The mining and quarrying sector spent 504 billion rands in 2022 on buying goods and services. And our target as a mining industry is to allocate between 60 and 80% of our annual procurement expenditure to the historically disadvantaged South Africans empowered companies, which includes Black-owned and women-owned and youth-owned companies. And this is a target that we will continue to strive towards achieving. The industry also grew employment to nearly 469,000 people during 2022 from 460,000 people the year before. And with employee earnings of 174 billion rands, which were substantially higher than the year before. The sector spent more than 5 billion rands on human resources development, with a further 1.7 billion rands paid through the Skills Development Levy. In addition to this, the Minerals Council is proud of its role as a champion of junior exploration and emerging mining companies. We are actively working to grow this sector to ensure broader benefits from South Africa's fantastic mineral endowment. Our junior and emerging miners desk has 38 members, including 3 association representation, which represent more than 1,000 small companies. In 2022, junior and emerging miners accounted for 7.4% of the mining industry's total revenue, which is around 88 billion rands. Along with the JSE and the Junior and Emerging Miners Desk, initiated a Junior Mining Accelerator Program, which we hope will provide strategic support to junior mining companies, whilst the leadership from our larger members provide mentorship opportunities to those heading these companies. More work needs to be done still in this regard, and as I have indicated, we are committed to making sure that this is achieved. It is more important than ever that the mining industry forges relationships built on mutual trust, cooperation, and partnership with our communities through social and labor plans and other initiatives. The economy is not growing and job prospects are poor for school leavers and youth in general. And therefore, the industry needs to align all its efforts in regards to job creation. The industry spends more than 1% of its net profits after tax on community development projects annually. Mining companies often implement social development initiatives beyond what they start before, let me rephrase. Mining companies often implement social development initiatives before they start production or selling products. And the industry's procurement spend, enterprise development projects, and education and training through social and labor plans that underpin mining rights are the ideal mechanism to improve our host communities' lives and create sustainable livelihoods beyond the lives of mining operations. And Minister, because of the above, that's why we feel now confident that it is time for us to engage with the DMRE around this common framework that we have urged us to look at, that will ensure that you as a regulator, you have an enforceable framework that we all can be able to deliver to. As the global mining industry is increasingly judged by the highest of economic, environmental, social, and governance standards, the Minerals Council and its members are firmly steering a course towards greater transformation, community engagement and upliftment, and contribution to the country and society. Including a global ESG leading practice is vital to societal acceptance of mining and securing our future. Going beyond regulatory compliance and demonstrating lasting social values are fundamental to building trust and demonstrating leadership. The Minerals Council was also having an active year in 2022, especially within our Women in Mining initiative, where we ensure that gender diversity and inclusion in a traditionally male-dominated industry continues to be an issue of the past. The sector employs more than 70,000 women, representing about 15,000 of the workforce. 3 years ago, the sector was employing about 49,000 women. So this is an increase of 20,000 new women who have come into the industry at various levels. Developments in technology to modernize mining and make it safer will not only improve the industry for all employees, but also make it a viable career option for women. Our members look beyond their mine gates to make a positive difference in nearby communities. The Minerals Council, representing its members last year in December, signed an MOU with the National Prosecuting Authority's Sexual Offences and Community Affairs Unit and the GBF Response Fund. The parties will collaborate to facilitate the building and/or refurbishment of Thuthuzela care centers to provide prevention, response, and aftercare services to survivors of gender-based violence in mining host communities around the country. To date, 7 of our companies have pledged financial support and made donations to this partnership, with most of them already having their own fully fledged Thuthuzela care centers that provide this psychosocial support. Lastly, modernization and repositioning of mining in society includes reducing carbon-based energy, extracting critical minerals for new energy sources, and ensuring a just energy transition for employees and mining host communities. In September 2022, the Minerals Council Board adopted a comprehensive position on climate change, and its members are committed to contributing to a just energy transition. And in this regard, the Minerals Council is a member and participates in the Presidential Climate Change Commission. The Minerals Council is also determined to continue playing a meaningful role in the economy, society, and communities in which our members' companies operate. We will ensure that our social license to mine is beyond reproach and that we continue with our hashtag Making Mining Matter in a safe, sustainable, environmentally conscious way. Colleagues, allow me also to give a personal note to thank Roger Baxter within this AGM as our outgoing Minerals Council CEO. Having spent over 3 decades in service of our industry, Roger embodies a spirit of collaboration and selfless leadership synonymous with our predecessors and icons within our industry and specifically within the council. Through his unwavering commitment to making South Africa a better place, he has provided a blueprint for us all to emulate. South Africa's mining industry is indebted to him for his passionate and principled leadership during some very challenging times during his tenure. Please join me in thanking Roger for his selfless and principled leadership. We will have a party just in the next few minutes, actually, I think in the next 45 minutes, so that we can pay a proper tribute to Roger. But in conclusion, I would like to also say that on behalf of our board minister and colleagues, I am pleased and delighted to also announce that we concluded our search process for Roger's successor. Last week, our board unanimously approved the appointment of Mr. Mzila Mtenjane as the CEO of the Minerals Council. He will be joining us around mid-August. We're still negotiating with his employer that we get him sooner than his contract allows for him to. But Mzila is currently an executive at Exaro Resources with over 30 years experience in mining. So he is no stranger to the intricacies of mining and, more crucially, stakeholder engagement processes both at national and international level. We believe that with his strong culture fit with the Minerals Council and high competence in mining, especially stakeholder management, and is also an engineer. And with him having had experience in sustainability strategies, Mzila is well placed to support the Minerals Council Board and its members in the next 3 to 5 years and also 10 years, especially as we talk about the ESG agenda. We will welcome him properly at the right time. I just wanted to give you the heads up around that appointment. Thank you all colleagues, especially the office bearers, Paul Dunn, Peter Steenkamp, and also Butemba Mkwanazi, for your hard work, your commitment in the last year. The board members of the Minerals Council, all of them, without me, we have 33 board members, Minister. All our board members have also equally shared the load and influenced our strategic thinking and delivery process in the last year, with huge time commitments and personal sacrifice in many instances. And Roger will talk a little bit around those processes. So I'm looking forward to our next term until next May 2024, where we will be able to report back to this AGM on what we have done. Have a good afternoon and thank you very much.